start off by playing a music video by them. And they're actually, it's just such a good music. They released 2 music videos, if I'm not mistaken. It could be more, but I'm well aware that there was 2 really good music videos released by this band. They're called Jailbirds. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure a lot of you know them already. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have a chat with Axel, who is just an absolute gentleman. He's a friend of mine, and he's a musician that I've worked with before, and I highly recommend anybody to work with this gentleman. He is fabulous. So yeah, I'm going to play first of all their music video for you guys, and then I'll bring the boys on. So let's see if I can make this work nicely.
They escaped. They escaped. Jay's at his girlfriend's house.
Oh, is he actually?
yeah, he managed to, but keep it on down low.
Well, here we go. Well, you've just said it to everybody there, Axel. Yeah,
Oh, we're
yeah, yeah.
screwed.
We're
Oh, we're
screwed.
screwed.
We're in trouble now.
Yep.
We're in trouble.
Yeah,
There's the knock of the Gardaí now.
well,
No, I'm only messing. No, they nobody heard anything. I'm only joking. I'm only trying to
not yet.
catch his off guard there. How are you keeping? I'm with Axel McDonald and Ed. How are you guys keeping, brothers?
Great, mate. It's good to be on. It's good to be talking to someone else, you know.
Another
Because,
face.
yeah, another face, another voice.
Talking to another actual human being. That's yeah.
It's
A nice experience.
it's a thing you never thought you'd ever miss, right?
Yeah, especially him.
Especially him.
Okay, all right.
So
yeah,
Ed,
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Ed,
later.
I haven't met you, so first of all, pleasure to meet you, brother. Thanks
David,
so
an
much.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for having us.
No,
But you guys haven't met. You guys have to have a beer together. I know that it's something that would go down very well because you know Ed's one of the nicest guys I know. He's the life of the party, and Dave, you're a legend. And
awesome.
yeah, this was bound to happen someday, so why not over
Beautiful.
Zoom?
Isn't it weird how all these beautiful moments seem to be coming together?
I'm making more memories now.
I think Axel maybe had like some cough medicine or something like that, or some painkillers, because he's never this nice to me.
It's because he's around me, man. I bring out the goodness in people. You see, that's my job.
That's just what it does. Being in a band with someone like Ed for what 3 years now, 3.5
You
years.
see,
Got to bypass the niceness.
I don't think that'll ever happen to the projects we're on together. Axel, what do you think? The Rockstar Karaoke.
I think it's bound to get to someone in the band.
Well, we don't gig enough. That's the thing. We don't gig as much as you guys. You're hard
But
workers.
I think the fact that then I kind of just riff off each other all the time, and the other guys as well, is just that's what keeps you sane in a band kind of environment and relationship when you're on the road, and you're doing it tough through whatever you might come across, because it's always going to be a team effort, wherever you go, whatever you have to do. So if you can't even laugh it off and bag the crap out of each other, then you're probably not supposed to be in a band.
Yeah. What do you think, Ed? That's true, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would always say about the guys is, with friends like these, who needs enemies, It's but at the end of the day, we take the piss out of each other. We say a lot of stuff, but I trust the guys more than I trust anybody. I trust the guys like family. Axel has an actual brother in the band, but I would definitely consider all the guys to be, I would say brothers pretty much,
Yeah.
We've been out there, we've seen each other,
Various states.
to the raw bone, let's say.
That's amazing.
Literally and literally.
Isn't that it seems like such a rare thing these days, or is it something rare in Dublin, or have you guys noticed, or you haven't noticed because you have it, to find that sort of brotherly sort of band connection? Has anyone ever said that to you or anything like that? What's your awareness about that?
You want to take this one, Ed? Or I have a couple of things to say about it.
Yeah, I don't think the problem so much is now is finding people to get on with. That I guess you can find relatively easy. There's a lot of big bands I find, a lot of like 5-6 person bands, and that can be difficult, when there's that many people involved, that you're always going to have disagreements and stuff like that. So I guess we're kind of lucky that we found the right kind of formula in such a small amount of people for what we do, but I think
we're always set out for that kind of environment, though. We always like the bands that we all like collectively. They're guys who want to work together all the time. We look up to guys like the Foo Fighters, AC/DC, and that. They want to put in the hard work. They want to be like, they have this one goal, and it's like being in a band. And I don't know, it's like striving for the same thing together collectively, that I think because everyone's got the same focus, you're just kind of, we're going to be in this together, and we're just going to deal with it.
Awesome. So it's not just like the music you're kind of mimicking, it's sort of the attitude as well. The approach is sort of what you mimic from your heroes, and not mimic, but you take.
We've always kind of said that from day one. I guess it's it's never just been about the music. Obviously, Jay and Axel are incredible songwriters, but it's very much about your attitude as well. If you want to try and maybe make a name for yourself in music, It's very much about, you know, if you don't have that mindset of where you want to go, you're never going to get there. So I
And
think that's really, really important.
100%. And so the band, everybody has that same vision where you just want to see the band in whatever light, in bright lights, big, famous rock and roll stars. How did and that's amazing. I'm not even trying to sound. If I sound sarcastic, I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
That's what we're shooting for. We shoot for that. Like, we're not afraid to say that. I think it's the stigma that comes around that, but in essence, it's like obviously making this our kind of thing, you know, our job, if so to speak. So whatever level that comes under, whether that's touring on a European scale to small venues, but still making a turnover, that's fine, you know. But we're obviously shooting higher for that. So
I love it.
The drive's there, yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. Like for me as well, I love the rock star concept, as you know, as a person. Like I know it's not all that, but I love that concept, and I have for many, many years. And I just couldn't find that right, you know. It's hard to find the right team, is what I'm saying. You know,
it's always been a very, very romanticized thing as well. I think, you know, the idea of being a rock star, or being like a famous musician, let's say, it's always been a very, very romanticized idea that people really put up there. It's like, oh, there's such a small amount of the world's population. There's such a small amount of the world's band population who managed to do that. But you know, you don't hear people say a lot, it's achievable. You know, you don't hear people going, this is achievable, it can be done. Just, you know, get your head in the game.
And then obviously the mainstream don't advertise the bands that are sort of in that middle kind of layer, like the mid-tier kind of layer, where they're out on the road touring all the time. They're not getting mainstream attention, and they're not broke. They're still doing something, and they're like, these are the bands that we're currently, you know, looking up to, because it's like, all right, how do we get to that level? Because it's, you know, you can't jump the gun. You've got to get, you know, small steps.
The next step above that is that's the media attention, that's the label attention, all that kind of stuff is the next step up.
Is it really, is the label, do you think the label is the way to go still? Is that what you guys are going for? And you guys have a label already, right? You are part of one?
Long story short, we actually had terminated contract with them late last year. And I think our opinion has changed with the experience that we had working with them. Simply because I think technology moves so fast, and people's listening habits have moved so fast with streaming, that we have to kind of adapt to what the music business is now. And I think it is different to what it was a year ago, let alone 3, let alone 10. And labels do seem like the right way forward. But I think from the experience that we had, a label like that was just signing a lot of artists to kind of, it's like a bet, you know, they're just going, all right, we'll sign these guys, sign these guys, and hope for the best. And if one of them picks up, then great. And then shelve all the other ones that don't really make anything of their careers, you know, within the space of, I don't know, a few months.
Right.
Which you kind of learn very quickly. I think now, from just kind of being independent for a couple of months, and quarantine has given me the time to kind of just go, all right, I just got to get back in touch with whatever the music business is doing now and how things are. I think it's more towards like the publishers and the streaming platforms. There's got to be a connection there somewhere. There's obviously industry contacts outside of labels that do help a lot of PR people. Advertise, all that kind of stuff, and there are many ways around it. It's not just labels. The labels are like literally banks with different interest loan rates.
I don't think you're the first person to say that, brother. I've definitely heard that in conversation, and it seems to be a lot like now. It's you know, it's about the marketing, right? It's that's perhaps where the money should be going, or at least to be considered to put.
And going with the trends on social media and the different platforms.
It's so fast, as you know, the trends can last a week, they can last 2 weeks, and if you get there really early, and it's not, it does feel a little bit cheap or cheesy at times, like, but it's, I don't know, like I'm aware of it, that it might feel a little bit cheap, because it's cheap because it's so fleeting, right? It's so fast. A trend or whatever can be so quick. But
it's like everybody kind of says, it's, you know, it's a singles market now. It's people want to consume their music like they consume everything else. You know, they want to, They want to consume it fast. They want to consume it quickly. They want to, now I'm not saying this about everybody, obviously.
They want that instant gratification, maybe.
Is that just the younger generation, do you reckon? Are we talking like below 20?
I think we're all feeling the change though. We're not we're not the same way we used to be 5 years ago with like I used to hate social media so much. It took me ages to really even use it.
Same.
Properly, you know?
It's funny how when you're in a band, like, you know, my Facebook would only be band stuff. You know, it's funny how it becomes such a necessity when you're
It's
in
a tool.
band.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to touch on that, on the kind of the singles market thing, you know, like I've talked to my sister about it before. You know, my sister's a good 6 years younger than me, and never listened to a full album in her life. You know, it's just singles, kind of quick, you know, easy access to the next kind of easy hit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just interesting how it changed, you know.
Yeah, we're so attached to traditional values of the music business because it's what it was for so long. You know, it's hard to just move on to something.
It's the ease of access. You know, it's, you know, where years ago where you would have to buy something physical and, you know, it maybe was in shorter supply than it would be now. You know, you would have to say, okay, this massive record or this kind of small record that I've got has, you know, 6 to 10 tracks on it. I'm going to listen to all of them, and they're all going to be awesome as well.
And you get the sleeve, you get the poster, you get all these little things as well that sort of add stuff.
Whole shebang, yeah.
They
the
add
experience
weight to
is
it.
different.
Now,
that's what I like about it. You get the band, you know, in something like that, particularly in vinyl. You get it in CDs and stuff like that. I think people are less interested in CDs, but I think the reason that people are kind of becoming interested in vinyl is that you get the band in the vinyl. You know, it's not just your tracks, it's this physical thing. You get your sleeve, you get your artwork, you get all the credits, you know, everything everybody's credited for, like the end of a film. It's like when you watch the end of a film, you know.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting stuff because you guys are in like that sort of genre though, where you would expect to like you'd have fans that would be perhaps into like classic rock, obviously the more classic stuff, the 80s, the 70s, who probably would be more inclined to listen to an album or purchase merch from these bands, like an AC/DC t-shirt or an Airborne mug or whatever. So like, you know, like that's your fan base, and maybe perhaps what you are doing is actually perfect for the fan base that you're looking for. It's just about getting that sort of fan base to you guys. And it's probably a long process, but maybe you don't need to change anything you're doing, and everything you're doing, it's perfect. It's just such a saturated market, right? There's so many things you have to navigate it in some certain, you know, way. But you guys have first of all, like, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable or anything, but you guys are fantastic. You know, you guys have deadly music videos. Your music videos are fantastic, well thought out, well shot, great storyline. Yous are acting in it yourselves. Yous are wearing costumes. You're
hold on, look at this.
Here we go. This will be for the next one.
I was only watching the Thrill of the Chase music video earlier, and I still have the hat that I wore in it.
Oh, it's that one.
It's brilliant, and it's not a prop. It's a legitimate hat. It's not like one of those fake ones you just buy.
Yeah, we won't tell them where we keep the guns, though.
Yeah, it's great.
The best one in that music video is the part when Axel gets lassoed. That's probably the best bit in the whole thing, because we got the guy who owns the ranch down there to actually lasso him, and Axel got. Did you get some rope burn?
I got an actual like 2nd-degree burn.
How many times did he do? Did he just lasso you one? Was it a one take?
Oh no, like we had to get the takes, and I think we got the right take early, and they didn't tell me, so we had to do it again.
They just did it for the crack, like
just because they like seeing me get hurt, huh?
It was a rough one, because when we were sprinting out of that door, the little saloon door, Jamie was always the one to go out first in however many 6-7 takes we did. So Jamie would sprint through the door, and I would come in through behind him, and the door would be swinging shut from him coming out, and it would just wallop me in the shoulder every time. You could see me like shitting myself laughing, because I just keep getting fucking walloped every time I go out the front.
That seems like so much fun. How long? Where did you shoot that, and how long was the shooting?
It was at a Fosse Mountain Springs Ranch, I believe. That's the name of it. And that's out in Port Leash. And it's an actual like thing where you can go for some equestrian. Is it equestrian?
Yeah,
courses and stuff.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there is an experience and stuff as well. They do some they bring people into the saloon and they do some stuff. They drink at the bar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
We shot that in what, 6 hours? We had to be there at 6 in the morning,
Mm.
and we had it till 12.
Came up with the idea about a day beforehand as well.
Really?
Yeah,
That was
we
a
were.
very last minute music video.
And between like
Fair
label
play.
budgets being approved, funding, securing the location because of the time constraints between the release dates, and
Mhm.
trying to match a marketing plan, it was like maybe like rushed in certain ways, but you never know. Like with these things, deadlines can be more of an asset than they can be a flaw
Yeah.
if the right people are behind it. And we were working with such a good team, Lacuna Creations for videos. Man, they are
They're very
unbelievable.
good. Yeah,
Good
I
friends
know
of
those
ours.
guys. Yeah, they're really good. Really good. I came across them by accident, and then I
Yeah.
realized that you've been working with them quite a bit, and
Yeah.
and so many other BIM bands have been working with them as well. Very good ones, right? So
Yeah. Rachel, who's part of the crew, so it's Rachel and Max.
Mhm.
Rachel went to BIM, the same college that we went to with Ed, and so that's where that connection is. And I suppose they were probably doing discounts for BIM students because just to get started, they started their business not a year ago or something, maybe a bit
amazing.
more. Yeah, they're doing
doing
so
it
well.
Yeah, they're doing it well. Really, really
Yeah.
are. Everything that they've been doing, all their music videos have been
Yeah.
high quality, exceptional work. And I'm amazed that you guys did it. It looks like a well thought out. Now you've given away the secret, I guess, right? It was just slapped
Yeah.
together in 24 hours or whatever. But it looks so
It was
well
a quick
thought
one.
out. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing how things piece together.
Yeah.
A big part of that as well, obviously such is the way with anything. I mean, working with Max and Rachel was absolutely amazing. It was
Very hands-on. Yeah.
easy, very hands-on. Everybody was kind of on the same page from the get-go, but like anytime there was any sort of maybe, I want to say, conflicting viewpoints, there was no argument. There was always a discussion, and we'd always move forward. And it was so much fun. They're a lot of fun to work with as well, which is always
Absolutely.
a huge bonus.
Awesome. Wow, that definitely
yeah.
helps. Yeah. So that was your second video, right? So you released. Was that the first
Yeah.
one? That was the second one you released, wasn't it?
Of that campaign, yeah,
Of that
we had
campaign.
to. Ed was featured in the first music video,
Okay.
which was for a song called "Nothing Good Lasts Forever," which we
Yeah.
shot in Dublin City.
Yeah,
Centre.
another great video.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. It
That
was early
that
morning as well, like, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And,
I want to say 7 a.m. we arrived at Stephen's Green Shopping Centre, me with my wet hair, and you can see it kind of dry very
Drying out.
slowly throughout like the first portion of the video. It's really funny. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We got to shoot in kind of a couple of different places, a couple of different businesses around Dublin City kind of gave us access to shoot and stuff like that, which is really cool.
shout out to Wildcat and Fibbers and
for the tattoos
the
and
Emporium,
yeah.
the casino thing. Oh man, that was a lot of fun.
So they let you shoot there because obviously you have to get some allowances and stuff sometimes depending on the property, if it's public or private, etc. They just let you kind of shoot that for no.
There was a process.
Before opening, and there was a process, but yeah,
Okay.
they let us in as well. It was an interesting story behind that particular place because we walked in to talk to them about it, and they're really, really lovely in there. Carla, who was in she's in Jervis Street. She was really, really lovely. But Axel and I were kind of standing there talking about it, and I was thinking, okay, I haven't had a tattoo in a while. I need to kind of book in anyway. I'll book in while I'm here.
Right.
And Axel turned to me midway through me booking, and he goes, "Why don't you get a tattoo for the music video?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Why don't you get tattooed, and we'll do like a big reveal. You can get like a Jailbirds tattoo. We can do a reveal at the end of the video." And I actually ended up going through with it. So that is a genuine. You can't make this shit up. It wasn't a fake tattoo in the video. It's a very, very real piece. It's
I
on
did
the
not know
t-shirt
that.
as well,
So Dave, beware, if you want to shoot a music video with me, I might have a few ideas that might entice you into getting tattoos.
I mean, I'm not against the idea. I'm overdue one myself, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what did you pick it? What tattoo? Do you know what? Let's watch the video. How about we do that?
Sounds
let's
like a good
let's
idea.
watch the video. We'll watch it. We'll do it this way.
Ironically,
I'll go grab something while you do that. Hold on.
Yeah. Go grab.
Yeah.
I'll give it a full screen. Yeah, no, that's an amazing story. I actually did not know that, so that's really cool to know.
Ironically, I'm the one in the band with no tattoos.
You are, yeah, because I think I was watching this video and I was looking out for your tattoos. I was like, wait, is Axel the only one now, or
Yeah,
does he have tattoos, or is he,
I'm
um,
clean, mate. I'm
you're
clean.
clean, yeah, yeah, yeah. What
I'm
do
a
you
blank
think?
canvas.
Do you think would you want to get a tattoo eventually, or is it something? Are you just waiting? Are you just not really too interested? What's your thoughts about tattoos?
I have thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, seeing the guys getting their tattoos, they were always like, really enticing because they're so well done, and they were using some great creative ideas. So we're working well with the tattoo artists. But I
Hmm.
think it was just the fact that, you know what, I'm not compelled for it. So if I'm not compelled to do it, if I don't have that motivation to go for it, then it's not what's necessary.
Yeah,
Plus, on the other hand, I might be able to save up and get another guitar.
yeah.
So,
You want to do it maybe for the if the time is right, when the time is right, if
possibly,
whatever.
yes.
But you're not totally against it or anything, but you're just it's
Oh, no,
just
not at all. It's just a matter of, it's
I've
not like,
always really
yeah.
admired Axel's attitude towards it, because it's I've always said that to people who kind of, obviously because I have a lot of tattoos, people kind of ask me, they're like, oh, what's it like, I'm thinking about maybe going and getting one. And Axel's attitude has always kind of nailed it for me. It's like, if you're not 100% sure,
mm,
if you're 99% sure, there's probably no point in you doing it.
yeah,
You got to be 100% in it. And I would, me personally, I would be, I could get a paperclip tattooed on me and it wouldn't bother me, and I would never go back on it.
yeah,
You know, if you're not,
But you've made your peace with,
in on-
wanting
exactly.
to get,
So if you're not 100% in on what you're gonna get on yourself, it's there's probably just no point in doing it.
yeah.
You're
You're
probably
right,
better off just leaving it blank.
especially if you're first time considering, because it does become sort of a part of you once you start getting one, your first, your second, your third, and then it just starts to, the idea and the concept is quite normal for you. Then it's like going to a gig or something at that stage,
Yeah.
so yeah, it becomes quite normal. I have a friend that's quite like that, and he has loads of different tattoos, and it's just normal to him. But I'd be kind of like with Axel. I have one tattoo, but it's kind of one that I would like to eventually finish, and it's not
Cool.
it's a symbol, right? So it's not anything that it's not a car, it's not a paper clip that you can just sort of say, yeah,
Yeah.
I know what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like something there, and then I kind of would expand from it, but I don't even know if I want it. It's
like a
it's
work in
tricky one.
progress kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
it was done like 10 years ago, so I like left it, and I was like, oh, I need to, I need at the right time. But I'm kind of like you now, but I'm kind of like Ed in a way that I got the tattoo, but then I'm like Axel now, where it's like, yeah, I'm still sitting on it waiting. I could buy a new
It's like the
webcam or
angel and the
something.
devil on the left
Yeah,
and right
it
shoulders.
really
you know?
is.
Oh, dude, see, I'd be like I would obviously kind of be of that mindset, but at the same time, whenever I go into the tattoo parlor, like 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, okay, I want to book in next Thursday, and they'll be like, okay, what were you thinking of getting? I'll be like, you
A
tell
tattoo.
me. You fucking tell me.
It's just the experience of getting a tattoo, right?
That's it.
It's
That's it, dude. To me, it's amazing. I like being in that chair. I know it sounds strange, but I like being in that chair. I kind of like the pain a little bit. I kind of just that whole situation is just being in there and getting it done is real.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, would agree with you and feel like that. I wouldn't say it's strange. Even me, I'm sure to Axel as well, I'd say it's pretty normal now, right? Tattoos have become so normalized, which is great. Jeez, thank God. You know what I mean? Shit is getting normalized finally in this society, slowly but surely. And tattoo places have opened up in Dublin, plenty of them, and it's a nice form of expression. It's also a form of expression, so it's great.
Yeah. And
cool.
Sorry. I was
go
just
on.
going to say a quick concept that we had was thanks to the idea with the music video, which we're probably going to watch now.
Yep.
We took the graphic that was prepared before Ed got his tattoo, so that there it is.
Oh, that's it. Awesome.
And we used that as a template for a t-shirt design. So it's like it's multi-layered. It's got different mediums of expression, and it's great that we could translate into something that people could take home with them, because it's on a white t-shirt at the moment with like a gold coloring and golden brown. We'll probably try out different versions of it, different sizes, like if it's on a breastplate thing or if it's on back. And I just reckon it's awesome to kind of mix those things in with the music side and the artistic side.
Yeah.
Something to
It's
develop, you know.
it's a funny graphic as well. You know, it's not there's not too much to read into it. You know,
Yeah.
I when I said it to Lofi originally, I was like, "What do you think it should be?" You know, here's the lyrics, here's the name of the song. Nothing good lasts forever. What do you think? And he came back to me 2 days later. He was like, "Dude, let's just let's put Satan on a motorcycle. Let's have thunder.
Yeah, why
let's have
not?
clouds. Let's have something fucking badass, and let's just put the song name on there. You know, it doesn't need to be anything crazy." I was like, "Dude, that's you got it."
That's awesome. That's a
It
great
doesn't
story.
it doesn't have to be something that you read into any crazy amount. Sometimes it can just be something cool.
Yeah, yeah. Still has a lot of depth to it all the same, right? So it's kind of
Oh,
funny
yeah.
how it wasn't planned to have depth or anything, or it might have, and then it did. It's funny how it all, but you have a lot of weight to that story and the symbol.
You can kind of give it weight by I guess putting it in the music video, making it a thing for the music video is kind of how we gave it weight. So
Awesome. Let's check this music video out. Great. So nothing good lasts forever. And this is your first music video, right? This, and then the second one was, which we played, was released a month later, I think.
Technically, our second one, we had a music video a year before that. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah.
Here we go. Awesome. That's great, man. Yeah, absolutely amazing video. Yeah, so Ed, you got a lot of spotlight there, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Was that because you got the tattoo? Yeah, you needed to.
The guys kind of insisted on it. You know, I'm always kind of happy to step up to that role, I guess. You know, I kind of like being the center of attention.
I mean, who doesn't, right?
But yeah, I mean, you know, it was a lot of fun at the same time. You know,
Mm.
I kind of have a little, I want to say, a small background in theater and stuff like that. When I was growing up, kind of 12 through 16, 17, I was very kind of heavily invested in kind of musical theater and stuff like that and pantomimes. So I have a kind of little bit of background in there. So it's always nice to kind of step back up to that plate, the kind of the acting side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes it's part and parcel, really. I mean, it can be, right? And it's great to use those different types of skill sets.
Absolutely. It's you know, it's all kind of in very close vein at the end of the day, you know, being in a band, being an actor, being, you know,
being on stage and all that, and
being on
presenting.
stage.
It's a presentation, you know.
Yeah.
Like
one of my prime examples is I've nonstop for pretty much the past year since I went to see Metallica at Slane. I've been listening to Ghosts pretty much nonstop. I don't know if you've ever heard of
No,
Ghosts.
I've heard of them. Yeah. Never listened to them.
Basically, it's almost like a band, but it's got kind of hints of musical theater in there. There's masks, you know. There's this.
There's a tribute band in Dublin, right?
Yeah, the guys
already.
Already, yeah.
Oh, dude, they're amazing as well.
Yeah,
they're absolutely deadly. But there's very much that kind of theatrical side of things, and where, you know, there's very much a visual, you know, they set up a scene and there's a story behind it, everything like that. And I love that in music. I think that's really, really cool when you kind of mix those things together.
Amazing. Yeah, I like that too, actually. Yeah, no, I do enjoy it. There's not enough of that, I guess. That's something that I've noticed. I like doing that to my like live gigs, like adding a little bit of you know, theatrical or something to it, at least a hint of it, until you know, the time comes perhaps to expand on it.
Gives you a little bit of extra flair, you know. It's always nice.
Yeah.
You guys,
you have to be in that position as well to work with engineers, you know, between lights, stage managers that can provide you or support you and believe in your vision, you know. And, you know, that's something that only comes when you can sort of access, I think, a different circuit and obviously more budget, I think.
That's it. Yeah, you have to really work with a good team and have the financial backing and stuff. Well, speaking about like live performance and stuff like that, you have done a lot of music in France. Now, I don't want to try and pronounce any of these French names because I never studied French. I was.
Oh, go on, it'll be fun.
No, I can't. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. I don't want to do that to you more so than myself. But tell us a bit about these gigs because they look phenomenal, and you've recently was it re-uploaded or you're was it re-uploaded some live footage from a big gig that you did there?
Yeah, we played a festival last year. The name of it's Monjou.
Monjou.
And that's
okay.
Yeah, you said it right. And
I'd read it Mount Dew probably or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Mountain Dew. Yeah, you know, it's French anyways. Yeah. So we decided it was the right kind of opportunity to get some mates to film that with some good cameras and get the sound guy to record it. We uploaded some videos like late last year, but I think we didn't really promote it too much. We were just putting on our socials, keeping it active. I've recently just kind of made a final cut of the whole show because I put the songs individually on YouTube just so that it'd be easier for people to find them. You know, when you're looking for bands, live performances, sometimes you only look for one song. So it's like, I know from a fan's perspective, I like having the option of seeing the whole gig from start to finish, no interruptions, and then song by song if I want to, or get a playlist or something like that. So just finished a cut of that, uploaded it. I think I'll do like a proper release of it and make a bit of noise when we come around to the 1 year anniversary of that gig. And it's just good fun playing to different audiences and to a really receptive crowd that just can appreciate the kind of music we play, and to play on a stage that has that kind of caliber as well.
They seem to
size,
love it
light.
so much, man. Like
we talk about that gig a lot. You know,
Yeah.
we see it all over our socials all the time. You know, we talk if we do our own live streams and stuff like that. We obviously talk about it a
yeah,
lot. But it was just such an alien experience to the five of us. So there was four of us, and then our stage manager Kean. Literally the five of us just showed up to this castle in a tiny van with all of our gear. And we arrive, and it's like, there's this woman with a clipboard comes out. She's really, really nice to us. She almost just kind of, claps her hands, and like this like swarm of text just like appears, starts helping us with our gear. It was crazy. We got our own dressing room, beers and water and towels and stuff like that. It was just, you don't get that here. We came back we came back to Dublin the next week, and we all got changed in the same toilet cubicle down at Knockenstock. And, so
at least you
they were great, to be fair.
Yeah, at least you got to play a festival. It's hard to get into festivals here. What do you think? Is it?
I think the genre is kind of a bit of a barrier, but our manager works hard to kind of make the industry contacts believe that it's the right fit for the festival. And,
so that's Oren, right?
Yeah.
So Oren, he's absolutely awesome, and he was able to he connected you with Knockenstock in particular.
Yeah, he opened those doors. He's the go-to guy in the rock metal scene here in Ireland, because we found that it was tough. There's a lot of mainstream bands and stuff like that. Then you've got a lot of heavy bands that have their own scene in their own community, which is like really good in its own right. But we're sort of in the middle.
That's what I feel like. You guys seem like quite in the middle, right? There's a little bit of classic kind of vibe to you, but you are bringing a modern flair to it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see that too often in Ireland. Do you see that anywhere else in the world? Some people your age sort of doing what you're doing, like as in, is it contained anywhere in the world?
I think we see it a lot in Europe, and like we follow a lot of bands online, through Instagram and whatnot, that are in Scandinavia, the UK. There's some French bands as well. It's a big market, like they have a lot of festivals, a lot of rock festivals in France. So there is a market there, and everybody knows Germany is a very kind of metal, kind of rock appreciating country. So I think they're the kind of target audiences and countries that we would be looking to expand to over the next few years. On a small scale or a large scale, like whatever way we can kind of get our foot in the door, we'll take that route.
Yeah, no, amazing. Like it would be a shame if there wasn't a scene like that, because it's an awesome scene, I have to say. Like it's awesome music, and it's an awesome vibe. And seeing those Monjou gigs, is that correct?
That's correct.
You can see the energy and the response people are giving you, and it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Yeah. I want to be there. I'm looking forward to the full video. Yeah. I want to see it on full screen, and I'm delighted you are doing that. Send me that link as soon as you do. I want to post it on my page. I want to post it on anywhere. I want to share that around with people. I think that's like inspirational, even when you run up on stage. Is that the same video where you are like hyped up and you are like, you're just like this staring at each other,
and
like,
you relive it when you watch it, and I'm glad that comes through, because that's like we wanted to give like the two sides of the stage, and it's important for people to see what that does to an artist and how that makes them feel, and also what it looks like from the audience perspective. And the live aspect of our band is I believe it's our greatest asset. Studio is all great and recording's great, but you really get to people's hearts when you play in front of them. And even someone who doesn't really like the kind of music we play probably can still watch what we do, and hopefully we can convert them into liking our music.
That's it, dude. I mean, for me, that's always been really, really important. It's I guess the way I would put it is that feeling you get, David, or the feeling that we would get, watching a gig like that back, or seeing the videos of that gig for the first time. I think inherently everybody has that in them a little bit. It's there. It's the band's job to just reach out and grab it. My best live gig of all time, and I've been to see them 5 times, but it's Airborne. I saw Airborne in the Olympia for the first time in like 2008 or something like that. Went to see them 4 times after, and man, I shit you not, every time they play, it's like they just reach out to the crowd with like this gigantic invisible fist, and they grab you and they pull you in, and you cannot get away from them. You cannot get away from the noise. You cannot get away from the music. It's intoxicating. It's amazing. Wow. And I very much think that we would like to kind of go for a similar vibe, you know, like as many bands do, you know, anybody like the Foo Fighters or anybody like that, anybody like AC/DC, any of those bands that play those kind of high energy shows, it's what they do. They reach.
It's like bringing a crowd,
grab you in there.
Yeah,
it's great.
You guys have that though. You have it already. Like it's there. There's nothing. Like honestly, the only thing that needs to happen is people need to fucking see you. That's all.
Yeah, I think we need to reach out to the niche audience, because it's not mainstream, but it's finding the right people that can. It's like the gatekeepers. We need to get to those gatekeepers that can get us to those people in other territory.
It's all
that appreciate that.
It's all connections, and maybe it's not as niche as you think. Even I don't know. Like obviously I don't know, but I mean, just to keep an open mind that, you know,
sure.
You might be surprised, you know, how far you can go with this. You might be the new, you know, you might rejuvenate rock and roll for people. You know what I mean? You might be those people. Maybe that'll, you know, have like vinyls came back out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Or fucking synthwave came back like 2 years ago. Now it's like lo-fi is back in. You know, shit comes back and people love it.
The cycle's probably getting quicker.
I've listened to so much synthwave and lo-fi.
You know what I mean?
You know why I know that, Ed? Because we're signed in probably the same computer with our Jailbirds account, right? And the Google account. Our YouTube history.
So you're getting all the related videos
as well. You've probably got
like
Star Wars from me, lo-fi synthwave from him, you know. Other stuff like that.
That's how people get trapped into watching the same thing all the time, is because the algorithms pick all the videos that they think that you'll like on YouTube and Facebook content. So people are used to that. And that's how the system works, right? Isn't it? It's like we get shown the recycled same content based on our likes, beliefs, traits, habits, probably being the most important one. So this is why it's kind of difficult to break through, let's say, the social networking cycle. In my opinion, I mean, there are some experts that work in social media and stuff, but like your videos like have potential to gain a massive reach. And it's like, how do you make that work? How does it work? Do you put money into it? Do you put, you know, do you put it into groups? Do you try to build your own community? Like, is it, and also time is not of the essence, but you know, you've got your own shit you got to do. You've got to play your instrument. You got to practice as a band. You got to do other shit on top of that. So it's like how to balance out all that time and where to go. It's an interesting journey, I have to say.
The joys of being in a band and managing all those different aspects, I suppose. I mean, everyone's got to go through it anyways. It's always good to know every aspect of your business.
For sure.
But coming back to what you were saying, I think, you know, I think at the time we expected the label to provide us with more than what we got. So in hindsight, maybe we could have done more on our end. You know, it's there's two sides of that coin, and I think that the next release we'll probably just do like one single and go all out for it, you know, and have everything covered from head to toe, the marketing plans thought through, and not have like people in between with different ideas. It's like just the band speaking to the PR and getting the message out there and making it tick over nicely over a certain amount of time. That just comes with, you know, screwing up a few times, and this is a whole learning process for all of us. I hope it's not too late, you know. You're just gonna make do.
No, it's never too late, man. It's never too late. It's all in the mind, and they're not mistakes. I mean they're lessons, and not to sound cheesy and stuff, of course, but it's good that you have that hindsight now. You have that information that you know that. Imagine like you signed up to some record deal now, and they fucked you over like majorly. Like you might have there have been some serious fuck ups, right? Like serious situations.
Oh, like you hear it left, right, and center, and you know, you don't want to fall into a trap, but sometimes you can't predict it either.
It's like a honey trap, isn't it? It's like it's like, ooh, record label, it sounds delicious, it's gonna make us big, and then you put, almost like you're saying, you put a little quite a bit more of your trust into it, that they'll do it all. It might make a musician a little bit laxy daisy too, like you were kind of implying there, And then, but look how much you guys can achieve together. You can make a fucking music video in 24 hours that looks like a professional thing. How long did you, The Great Escape? Let's touch on the album a little bit, because it got the pick of the week last week.
And thank you again for making it pick of the week.
Well, it's an absolute fucking pleasure. Like, thank you for making such awesome music. It wasn't a hard decision to make. Because it was just really, really good. And I accidentally started listening to it, because I remember when you released it first, I think I listened to it and I didn't give it enough. Like, it just didn't, I don't know, for me, like,
it's an album, you know, like it's not single, you know, that's, to be fair, we're not expecting to entice people on one track.
But still, I don't know, like, I think you should, like, I wouldn't let it hold you back, because I'm so delighted you released an album though in the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, then I appreciated the album maybe a little bit more delayed than when.
We all go through that phase. We all go through that phase.
And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? This is phenomenal. And I'm not saying this because you're just right in front of me here, and because of whatever. But like, no, I thought it was just amazingly done. Just rocking fucking guitar riffs, man. Great vocals, great fucking punchy backing vocals as well on top of it as well. Who's doing backing vocals? Did everyone do backing vocals on the track?
You're doing it. Ed and myself kind of blend. It works really well.
Awesome combo. Yeah, vocal combo. Just great bass drums, man. It's just a fucking rock and roll fucking album. I loved it, and I'm glad that Paul got to listen to it as well. I was like, he's like, what's the pick of the week this week? And I'm like, man, I'm giving you a gift.
I was talking to Paul, actually. He was kind of expressing how much he enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that really means a lot, man. I mean, it's,
it really does.
I guess anybody would say that with that kind of a compliment, but
yeah,
to us at the end of the day, I mean, particularly right now, we don't give a shit about money. We don't give a shit about anything like that. It's just as long as the music can speak to somebody, first off, the way that it speaks to us, and the way that you've said that it's spoken to you, that's all we want.
That's mission accomplished, and you take that on a larger scale, and that's a fan base. That's people who can appreciate that on a long term. On long term.
Yeah, and long term being sort of the thing is because you're not just pumping out the odd single and blah blah blah. Which I don't want to sound critical of people that do that, because like I did that. I just slapped out a single there.
I mean, currently it's probably the smarter thing to do.
But there's so much weight.
It is the current market.
I know, but like, okay, let's say this is just all my sort of perception right now. It's not necessarily anything of value or anything, but it's just we're just kind of shooting shit right here, right? So what I was thinking, like, the fact that you released an album, there's a lot more weight attached to your band because you have an album. I think the single thing is working because of Spotify algorithms, and the algorithms of social media is what is being adhered to there, in my opinion. I'm still hoping that there's still, like, because for me it was a pleasure, the fact that I had the option to listen to an album, right? But now,
that's great.
Now what people are doing is, and I could sit down, I could read a book, I could have it there, you know what I mean? I could have it in my own space and have a moment with Jailbirds, essentially. And I was just kind of, it took me to a different space, because I haven't listened to rock music, to be honest, in quite a while. I've been listening to other stuff, and your album was the first bit of rock that I listened to in a while as well, actually. So you've brought me back into rock, which was interesting as well.
That's a good
that
get back into it.
Because I listen to so many different genres, obviously, of course, like just being a music lover, I listen to so much different stuff. But I'm rambling on a bit. I want to try and get to the point. Was that and it's not even that valuable of a point perhaps, but to release singles individually, that's fine, and that's what a lot of people are doing, where they're releasing singles and then they create an EP ultimately. And maybe that's the route, and maybe that's what you guys are actually going to do, is you release the singles one by one, so that fucking Spotify shitty algorithms pick it up and push it out for you for free, so you can get your fucking 0.0006. It's horrible. It's horrible shit. And
I think it's just playing the game. I think we need to try a new strategy. I don't know, Ed, if that's what you were going to go.
Well,
with.
I'll give you an
example. Sorry for me ranting on about that. I had to blow off some steam.
This is all really, really important shit that should be talked about more, not just amongst musicians, but amongst music lovers. I know so many music lovers who aren't musicians, but they live, breathe, and sleep music. They love it more than anything in the entire world, and they would listen to endless amounts of music. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is there was a band I used to love when I was like 17. They were my favorite band on the entire planet. They came out with 2 albums and they broke up, and that was it. That was the end of them. Their lead singer moved to the US with his wife, and he started a new band. And I think it was about 2 years ago he started this new band. And since they got together, they've released 5 singles, and at the end of that all, it became this little EP. And I guess the album thing for me, you know, I think the good thing about releasing albums, but releasing your singles as well on their own on Spotify, and then they're there as part of a larger ensemble, is when if somebody does pick up on the single, they go, this is amazing. They check out the artist, and then there's just this massive backdraft of material that you can just kind of go through and pick and choose what you like and what you don't like. You know, it's as opposed to, you know, you listen to a single, you click into their Spotify profile.
That's it. Yeah.
2 other songs there. The amount of bands that I've done that with, it's just, and it's frustrating. It's not that I dislike the band for doing it, but I'm frustrated because there isn't more.
You want more, and you're not getting enough.
To listen to, you know.
Yeah, and I think like sort of being in the industry around here and kind of getting to know some people and what they're up to. I think quite a few people are just touch and go with the material that they have, and if we decide to bring out a single, or like sort of do that format, I think we'd always have the end goal in mind, with the material either fully pre-recorded or like having the plan of like these all the songs demoed properly exactly the way we're going to record them, so we know exactly how they're going to be within, you know, the one body of work.
Gotcha.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I suppose there are no rules. That's the thing with Spotify. They've kind of just, before you had the CD format, the vinyl format, it was limited because of space, literally, you know, physically speaking. And now Spotify just gives you the option to do whatever you want. So if you can be creative enough to have that concept, whether it is doing the few singles EP, few singles plus an album, good on you. And I think we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I'll reassure you, we are writing. So we do have songs in the works, and
that's great.
Like we're just creatively frustrated, and you always want to bring out new material. So
drastic mistake today. So I've been playing through some of the new material here at home. Axel and I have kind of sat together and we've played through some new demos and stuff like that. But before we went into lockdown, I didn't buy any guitar strings. We got a broken A string on this boy here, so that's the end of music for me until I can order some guitar strings to the house.
Ed, would you like a loan?
If you could post one of them over. Most of them are mine, actually, now that I look at them.
No way. Oh my god, Axel, I love Axel bringing Axel to a gig, because he'd be like, how many guitars do you want me to bring? He'd ask me how many he wants him to bring. I'm like, I don't know. I think you did ask me that. You asked me something like that anyway. I don't want to be making up lies here.
It's like, what was considered acceptable?
That's what you were trying to hint on, like, you want to bring 6 guitars, don't you, Axel? And it's like,
yeah, one for each song, huh?
Yeah. Axel's place has always kind of been the closest point of contact for most of the places that we would play, or it's kind of maybe more, I guess, even so. Axel and I play with a tribute band as well, and it's more of a center point that all of us can kind of come and meet if we're going to Cork or Galway or, you know,
up
Belfast,
north, you know.
That. We can all kind of meet at this center point. We jump in the van, we take all our gear, and we go. So he holds on to all our gear there as well.
This is Whole Lot of Voltage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. And so we would have originally met in Tyrone. We were the Bowie band.
Yeah, that's right.
And you guys were there was the Thin Lizzy cover band. Is that correct? Was it Thin Lizzy?
Yep.
I can't remember the name, so sorry for not.
And there was the Guns N' Roses
tribute.
The
Guns N' Roses tribute. Yeah. And what was that called? That was that was, I can't remember anything. That was quite a while ago.
May have been Abuse Your Illusions.
Yeah, Abuse Your Illusions.
Abuse Your Illusions. Yeah. So that's where I saw you guys first. And we didn't stay we didn't unfortunately stay I regret not staying the whole thing, but we saw your set, and then we missed, I think it was Guns N' Roses was Abuse Your Illusions was last, wasn't it? Was it?
They were.
I think, yeah. I missed them. But I remember seeing you guys first, and you had that was your older singer there. Your previous singer, right?
Yeah.
So that was unbelievable. I remember chatting to you. I don't even remember if I chatted to you a bit, and because was Amy in the band at the time? Did she come in for the Bowie at that stage? She was doing the Bowie.
She did backing vocals. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember you, Ed. I don't remember speaking to you.
I don't think I actually may have been at that gig. I feel like that was. That
was a friend of ours.
I was
Mika.
at Blackberry Smoke that night, so Mika was playing that gig.
So this guy called Mika, he's used to be in a French rock and roll band called Loudzo, and we did a few shows with them, and we met through the lead singer of the tribute band, because
Oh, okay.
through like extended family relations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a community, you know.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. You obviously have a really good connection with great musicians, and you do a good bit of session work as well. Do you do session work as well, Ed? You just do the two projects for you?
It's never really been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently working with 3 projects. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be kind of really big into kind of really heavy music when I was in my kind of teenage years, and I recently jumped back on board with a band called Jet Fuel Chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys are some old friends of mine from school, and they were kind of in need of a guitar player, so I said I'd kind of join them. But yeah, session work has never really been my thing. I mean, I could probably get away with it, but it doesn't kind of give me the same thing that I would get from playing with the guys and playing originals music. I mean, the tribute thing is cool, obviously, because it's you know, it's just you get to go out, you get to let loose, you get to play some good music, and then you get to go home. You know, that's cool.
And you get paid.
And you get paid, which is kind of a huge part of it, you know.
Helps.
But yeah, session work is it's never really been my thing. Originals music has always kind of been where I guess I've kind of fit in the most, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah, there is that some people. Oh, geez, I think my brain's dying.
Two different worlds, basically.
Two different worlds, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh, goodness. But Axel, you do some great stuff. You've done some great, worked with some amazing projects, and I love hiring you. We had some lovely gigs lined up this year, man. I'm going to cry.
Oh, there was some good stuff. Yeah, it's a bummer.
We all had amazing gigs. We had such a busy year.
I know.
But tell me, I don't want to keep this for too long, because the sun is gonna drop down soon, and we need to see a bit of sunlight before the end of the day. Yeah, there's a little bit of sun. I know, I haven't gone out. I've been working too much. It's crazy.
To be honest, this is
You're working too hard.
The first proper kind of relatively human contact I've had in the past probably 2 months. So I'm happy to talk away until the cows come home.
Well, I'm delighted I could bring you that, brother. I really am, and I really mean it. It's a pleasure to meet you, and a pleasure to get to know you over these like weird Zoom chats that, you know, I've been getting to know.
I mean, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, you know, your musical opinions, you got your head fucking screwed on straight, so it's nice to kind of bounce opinions off you and kind of.
I mean, I come across well. In front of people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my head's completely screwed on, but you'll get to know me a little better, and then and then you can really tell me. But no, it's awesome. Yeah, no, it's my absolute pleasure. Like, it really is. Like, it's just nice to talk to some really great musicians, you know, that I believe in, you know, and I really do believe in you guys as a project, and individually you are bang on. I'm just missing, I think Jay is the only person I haven't met, or no, and sorry,
Jay and Jamie would have been I think available.
Well, Jamie's an asshole, so you're not missing anything.
Jay, the drummer.
No, Jay's fine. Jamie, bass player.
I know Jamie. No, so I've met Jamie, so I haven't met Jay yet.
So you'll know that Jamie is an asshole then.
He's a fantastic asshole, though. He's like the best asshole. He's the most perfect asshole. But we've worked together.
Thank God this is live.
Yeah, not for long. Man. I think Facebook is going to kick me off any second, which is that's why I saved this till the end.
Jay is such an interesting character to work with, because I guess when I met Axel first in college, you know, we were obviously very musically inclined in the same way. I was kind of in a different phase at that stage, but then I kind of came back and very much kind of reverted back to the classics and kind of dressed into the classics and stuff like that as well. But meeting Jay for the first time Jay's such an amazing guy. He's such a passionate dude. He really knows what he wants. I would kind of argue almost above any of us. Maybe not Axel. I mean, Axel's kind of in that vein as well. I mean, brothers, so
runs in the blood.
I've never seen. In fact, let's talk about it in terms of the McDonald's. I would say I've never seen passion and drive in anybody else like I have seen in the McDonald brothers. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts, and it's a privilege to be able to, you know, to be a part of the songwriting process and kind of lend. I don't really write songs, but to be kind of lending musical opinion and stuff like that, it's great. But 9 times out of 10,
too nice.
The guys will come. Axel will come along here like, oh, I got this guitar riff. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Just let me know how it goes. Next day, he'll come back and be like, so Jay and I have a demo for you. We have a song.
That's so fantastic. And see, I told you I bring out the goodness in people. So Ed's being nice to you now. Actually, you see, we finally got it out of him, and it's recorded as well, so you can use it against him anytime. You can say,
I can savor it. I can savor it.
Absolutely amazing, guys. But like I said, I mean, I can really see that. I can feel the love. I can feel the love between you. I'd love to chat as well with the whole band, and I'd love to actually work on something. And I think this is something maybe we'll chat off camera cool, at some stage, because I definitely have some plans to sort of keep bands going and stuff like that during this time. So it's not just the podcast. There's definitely some other ideas, because I'm clearly not working hard enough, and I really want to just push myself to the limit for the love of music.
I think speak for everyone who's kind of been on your show here. Just congrats on getting this up and running, because first of all, you've got to have sort of a bit of a vision and some gumption to kind of get it done, because a lot of musicians are lazy, and myself included. So, we're all kind of dreaming of having the perfect live stream, all, getting paid for stuff like that, and getting a Twitch account running and all that stuff. But well done on getting this started. And I do hope that, you can keep it up and running, even if quarantine kind of cools down, and it can be a thing that brings more artists together and fans closer to, artists.
Cheers, man. Cheers. I'm going to keep doing it. It's not going to be a quarantine thing, I don't think. I hope not. Just like me quitting smoking, It's like, I hope it's not just like a quarantine thing. But no, it's crazy when you sort of uncover something new that you didn't really, I don't know. It was in my head before to do something like this, in addition to the gigs that I've been running for, let's say, the original artist one, Scene, which was just the one that was twice a month. And I always wanted to tie in the radio stuff in, but just didn't have the I don't know, what did you call it? The gumption?
Yeah, the gumption. It's
gumption.
Like, it's getting done,
Getting the gumption. I've heard it before. I could never pronounce it.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning all these pronunciations.
Having the guts to get something done,
Yeah, getting shit done. Yeah, no, it's lovely. And I'm learning so much about myself by talking to people, which is amazing.
That's great, man.
I'm learning how to be the listener. I'm learning how to, be a better person to an extent as well, and learning about just, I don't know, because it's harder obviously to communicate, right? It's a little bit more difficult than if we were face to face, having the crack in a bar, whatever. It's more kind of loosey goosey. Here we're actually talking in front of people, but I don't want it to be all interviewy either. I want to find the balance between just a casual chit chat, getting to know each other, let us all open up ourselves, try to be as real as possible. Where it's harder to do that in an interview environment, right? Because there's more pressure and stuff. But we've got viewers, people are chatting to us here. Amy Murphy is saying Axel and Ed get a room. So isn't that beautiful?
Well, we can't because we're in lockdown.
Can I not get a room as well with them, Amy? Like, come on, do you not see the love between the three of us? Is it not obvious? We got Connor Farrell as well saying the
Connor, what a legend of a man. You know what?
Oh,
shout out to Connor. He is like, he's got his heart on his sleeve, and he works so hard, and is the most loyal person, I think, one of the most loyal people I've met here, and through Ed.
Awesome.
So,
he's been around since day one, actually, now that I think about it. He's literally, since Axel and Jay asked me to play with their old band Switch Cult, that was kind of how I met the guys. Connor was kind of around from day one. I think Jay always kind of really took to Connor in the early days. He always just he was just like coming from France and coming from Oz, having never been to Ireland. I think he always just found Connor to just be like this completely ridiculous anomaly that just kind of breezed in the pub doors. Was like, "What's up?"
Yeah, and we do have to give a shout out to our good friend Kian, stage manager, mediator, I don't know, advisor, all that. He's
lover.
He's been he's been there since the early days too, though. And he's always kind of just chimed in at the right time, and he's a problem solver, gets everything done, and keeps everybody's heads cool.
Kicks our asses as well.
Yeah, man, it's important to have a team like that.
Yeah, you guys sound like you have a really good team of people around you. Is there any plans you have? So you have a plan for a single this year, is it? Or
well, we're writing. We're gonna wait and see what can happen with like traveling in order to get to studios and have that freedom, because you kind of you can record and all that, but you kind of want to be in the mixing room as well and stuff like that, and that can vary depending on who we're working with. So we're just kind of bulking up, I suppose, on ideas and getting the creative side out there. And when we kind of sit down all together, either by Zoom or in person, and we feel like, right, this song has to be released. You know, this is too good to like sit on it for too long. We'll work something up. We'll muster up a plan and get it going. So we'll let you know when that kind of happens.
Please do. I want to be the first to know. Or
Yeah.
I'll settle on second or third, in fairness. But I definitely want to be in the top 5 of people to know about your next actions. I'm looking forward to the full release of the live video as well from Monjou. When are you releasing that? When's that coming out? Did we say?
I think we'll play it by ear, but I was thinking somewhere mid-July, like a year since we played the gig.
Perfect.
And
that's my birthday, 15th of July, so happy days.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
Awesome, man.
I'll take that as a birthday present from you.
Absolutely. I'll give you an early viewing.
Yeah, my page is going to be popping on Facebook from Facebook things, so I'll just share it on my page. You're going to get loads of attention on that video. So I'll do use that. And is there anything else you want to say to our viewers before I let you guys go, which is going to be hard to do because we've got so much we can talk about. I realize.
I know, man.
I'm realizing that with everybody. There's like so much we can chat because it's like we're just getting to know each other, especially with Ed in the mix now.
Yeah.
There's more we can chat about, which is awesome.
We'll have to commit to a beer, I think, after this all kind of blows over. I think everybody's in kind of a weird place right now. Both normal people and musicians are kind of in a weird place right now, but you know, it's the stuff like this I find is the stuff that's keeping me sane, you know?
That's awesome, man. That's great to hear. Well,
we'll definitely have to make a commitment to a beer, I think, after this is all over.
Man, even like the phases are going to loosely get sort of reopened and stuff like that. So I think there will be situations sooner than later where people will be able to still socialize, even on a musical level, you know, where you have small groups of people, small band, like let's say as a band environment or whatever. And I think there's going to be ways around that. So I definitely want to at least take advantage of the next phase, you know, with regard to music and stuff like that. And that will involve a couple of beers, Ed, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's in the plans. Anything else, Axel? Any other thoughts or yourself? Or?
First, thanks again for having us, guys who are watching.
My pleasure,
Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around because I know we can ramble on for so long and it can be quite boring.
Good rambles. No, they're good rambles.
Nah, that's good.
They are good rambles.
It's good. As long as you guys are getting entertainment out of it, get a kick out of it, we're going to keep doing our shenanigans. There you go.
I fucking love it. I love it, guys. Listen, have a great day, guys. And an absolute pleasure to meet you, Ed. An absolute pleasure to catch up with you, Axel. Have a great week, guys.
You too.
Nice one.
See you. Take it easy. All right, guys. So that was Axel and Ed from Jailbirds. That was half the band. So we're still missing 2 of them. So I definitely would love to bring the guys back as a full band. That concludes our show. That concludes all of our guests. I had an absolute great time chatting to people, getting to know some people, catching up with some others. This is what this show is about. It's about our casual chats with artists, with influencers, with musicians, with comedians, the full shebang. It's all about good vibes and reconnecting with people during these crazy times. So I'd like to thank all of my guests, Sir Steve-O, Timothy, for coming on, our first guest. Absolute honor to meet him, somebody with such an amazing reach and so busy that he gave time for my little old podcast. So thank you so much. The awesome Maximilian Foy, who came in last minute this morning, I asked him to come on. So thank you, Maximilian Foy Collin, for coming on. I had a fascinating chat with you, brother. And the amazing Sean Fox from Wicklow, the singer-songwriter who I got to know for the first time. Absolutely astounding musician and very, very intelligent young guy. So absolute pleasure to meet him. And the 2 lads from Jailbirds, Ed and Axel. What can I say, guys? That was beautiful. I had a lovely chat, which is really, really enjoyed that. So back on Saturday again. And I've got a couple of surprises for you once again. We're going to be we've got some great guests and we've got another pick of the week, and this pick of the week is really, really good. I think you guys, I'm not going to say anything about it actually. I'm going to advertise it on Facebook, and this stuff will go onto YouTube. I think I need a break this evening. I'm not sure. I feel like I've been putting in a lot of work recently, so I kind of want to keep going. I probably will end up doing some work, aka I will release possibly a video or 2 this evening. But I think I need to chill out as well with a movie or something. So by the way, if you guys have any movie suggestions, do send them my way. Yeah, it's one of those evenings where I'd love to chill out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I felt like I had a rocky start. With the technology and everything, I got a little caught off guard with one or two things at the beginning of the show, which you guys probably can't tell at all. But for me, I always, as a host, everything is good. But then, as the technological producer part of me is a little bit, still a little bit wary with how things should work and function. But out there, I guess it seems to be quite seamless and stuff. But listen, anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in, all of you, from all the networks. And I'm going to make sure I have somehow work out to get an accumulated chat or something where I can communicate with Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. I don't even know what is going on over there, so I have to triple check that after the feed and see if there's anything actually running on Periscope. And I don't even know what that is. If anybody wants to chat to me about Periscope, yeah, just send me a message. And of course, anybody that wants to be on the show, anybody that wants to send me some recommended tracks or artists, please do send them on. Kozak deMars on Facebook or deMars Entertainment. You can also email me, demarsentertainment@gmail.com. Yeah, what can I say? Absolutely wonderful show. So thank you so much for all of you once again. How many times am I going to thank you, huh? I'm just feeling the love now after those guests. You know, I'm feeling really grateful. But no, truly, thank you so much. All right, I'm done. No more thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And yeah, I'll see you all on Saturday. Stay tuned, and I will keep you posted about what is going to be on the program for Saturday. So take it easy. See you soon. Bye bye.